Hello, I'm James Morrow, and you're watching Busting the Narrative. This week, we're having a good hard look at a chant that is being heard across the land from sea to shining sea from Americans who have something to say and who aren't afraid to say it. Have a listen.
Joe Biden! Joe Biden! Joe Biden! Joe Biden! Joe Biden!
Hang on. What were they saying there? Well, we had to bleep out 1 out of every 3 words of those chants, but let me just clarify it by saying this. The people in the stands at all those games and everywhere else weren't wishing luck to Joe Biden, nor were they suggesting he was a chicken who needed to be plucked, or for that matter, commenting on his relationship with the guy who runs Facebook, a man called Mark Zuckerberg, or known to his friends as Zuck. This chant, this phenomenon has been occurring for weeks now at arenas across the country, though we have barely heard anything about it in the mainstream media. Wonder why. Now, I'm not naive enough to think that sports fans jeering politicians isn't part of life in a free country. It should be. But this is something different. Yes, Biden is down in the polls badly. For the first time in his presidency, the majority of Americans now say they dislike Joe Biden, do not trust him, and do not see him as a strong leader. Even more worrying, just 43% of Americans view the president as mentally sharp. That is down from 54% last March, and it's pretty amazing, frankly, that they're even asking the question. Add to all that chaos on the southern border, the botched retreat from Afghanistan, a coronavirus pandemic that does not seem to be going away, and where the administration has taken to blaming the people for its own failed promises. A U.S. where gas prices are up, food prices are up, and the nation seems to be sliding back into a malaise not seen since the bad old days of, hate to say it, Jimmy Carter. And there is something else particularly interesting here. The cry, the one that we heard earlier, started on university campuses. Yes, the same university campuses that so many of us, including frankly myself, have been fretting about becoming factories churning out woke, unthinking, ignorant automatons with their heads so full of critical race theory that they get triggered if they hear a movie is in black and white. The same university campuses where conservatives are silenced, professors canceled, and, depending on which survey you read, Democrats outnumber Republicans in the faculty lounges by 20 or 30 to 1 or more. And incidentally, the same university campuses where last century the convention was also for students to chant not right-wing but leftist slogans like, "Hey, hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today?" Could it be then, maybe, perhaps, what we are seeing is a rebellion against the po-faced, humorless lefty establishment, the no-fun killjoys who have made every classroom a minefield of political correctness and whose president is selling off their futures to Beijing? That just maybe the youth are actually the best hope for America? If so, I'd be the first to welcome it and admit that everyone needs their narratives busted occasionally, even me. The question now is, will this chanting achieve anything? Well, for one thing, it will certainly confuse Joe Biden, who enjoyed up to 70% popularity among college kids during the 2020 election. The decline since then has been so sharp that the Los Angeles Times published a feature story last week asking, quite reasonably, how does the oldest president in American history connect with voters who are 40, 50, or even 60 years younger than him, unquote. The answer, according to that paper, is to hire more millennials in the White House, cancel student debts, and introduce policies to, you guessed it, save the planet. In other words, be more woke than he already is. Somehow, I don't think that is the message those chanting students were hoping to convey. Thanks for joining me this week, and I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line at bustingtheNarrative@skynews.com.au. And if you like these videos, please like, comment, and share below. I'll see you next week.